what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact reaction. Today we have Krai's battle theme number 2. I have completely avoided this one. When I played the little bit of Krai I have to level up some characters I've got, I fully went mute, so I didn't run into any of these themes. So that's good. I'm glad I foresaw that happening and people wanting me to get to these themes. But quite a few of you wanted me to get to these, so of course that's what we'll be doing today. And without further ado, let's go! Kind of like the alternating vibes going on. I love the ocarina. I figured I would hear it again because I've heard other stuff from Krai, but it's just so fun. The energy of Krai's music is great. Ooh. Oh. There's the release. It was sitting on some tension there. Ooh. Beautiful vocal line. Nice triplet in there too. Love those. Keeps things so lively. Is that a hurdy-gurdy in there? Sounded like it. I love that in the mix of a song, you can't often tell if it's a hurdy-gurdy aside from the sound. There are a few instruments that sound kind of similar, but if you can hear the clicks from the keys, that's what's to listen for. I guess do they count as keys? They might be just levers, but... Oh! Okay, we got some throat singing in there. It sounded more Mongolian than Gregorian, though, in tone. Oh. I fucking love how epic this sounds. Ooh, a shift. We love a good key change. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Woo! Hell yeah. Oh. Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about that specific chord there. Oh, they used one of my favorite fucking chords ever. Oh, that's gonna be like half of the analysis part of this video. So I'm going to apologize in advance for my yapping for this one, because there are so many potentials for this song and so many ways to approach what I'm going to be yapping about that I cannot, as somebody without training in this field, be confident telling you exactly which one it is. There are variations and potentials here, and while I know that those exist, there is no way I'd be able to ever tell you if any of this is truly the answer to why this sounds this way. So to start out, brilliant fucking song. I love it from beginning to end. Everything is great about it. I'm not going to be focusing too much on the broad stuff. It's going to be specifically that ending section and what they did to make it sound really fucking cool. So to start out with, I'm pretty sure this entire song is in D minor, at very least until we get to that key shift in there, which of course I'll be getting to, but I'm pretty sure it starts in D minor. We have all the usual chords. They do seem to borrow some chords, like stuff sounds a little bit different than the standard D minor scale in here. So that could just be general mess in the mix kind of tricking my ears, or they are borrowing different chords from different keys, but I don't think any of D minor's keys and any of their relative keys, parallels, have any of the chords they were using. There was a lot of minors and stuff in there, for example. So it's like, okay, where are you getting that from? Like, most of the relative and parallel keys to D minor only have one, maybe two, and I think I was hearing like A minor in there, and I was like, that's not in basically any of them, so what am I hearing in this, right? But then it shifted. Then it shifted to A flat minor at that little spot at the end there, and I was like, yo, like, I got super excited. That was like the hype of like, oh, we love a key change there. And then it got me more excited when they wrapped it back around with a full C major, and I mean a full expanded C major. And it's not necessarily just the fact that they use C major for that chord, that big one, that gigantic energy, which that has always done and always will do. It is such a palpable chord for that big lift that you want to get out of a song, but how they did it, basically. I'm pretty sure they went from a flat to a sharp to a minor to the full C natural. So it's like, Jesus Christ, the gymnastics leading up to that. But that, assuming that that's exactly what happened, and this is what I mean by there's so much that could be going on here, that it's like, I can't quite tell, because there was a lot of movement in those keys, and I'm not God. I can't just tell you things that I don't know. I don't know how they wrote this, you know? Music is so complex. Anyway, point being, the way that that works and the reason it sounds so fucking good is because of that lead up. Because you start off having everything flat, and then you lift it up to a sharp, and then you pull it all the way down to a minor, and it's that little like dip right before it rockets. It's like a skyrocket straight to the moon. It is so immensely powerful, and that setup is exactly why this worked. And not only that, but because they kind of kept it like tight to itself, like they were very restrictive with how much of the sound, how much of the orchestra they were using. They didn't use everything, but once they hit that C, all of it, every single fucking thing in this orchestra just blasted open. And it was that impressive pitch change, that entire emotional shift that made it sound that fun. And I know I said like, oh, I love that they used that chord, and I was excited about that, but I wanted to talk especially about how they managed to pull it off. I love C major. It is such a cool, easy thing to learn too. Like, the bare bones of music and music theory is the key of C. So just learning that is very, very much going back to basics. It's elementary knowledge for music theory and anyone writing a song. But the reason that it sounds so good here is because they utilized it properly. That relationship between those flats, minors, and sharps that made this sound that much more bombastic, and just opening it wide up. I love that they just slapped this on here, just full, and it was like both of the... See, like, it's just all of it. That huge chord. They were basically covering every single octave with how many instruments they had involved, and that's what gave it that gigantic open energy. And then they ended with a C major 7th, I'm pretty sure. Like, I can't tell if it's exactly a C major 7th, because, like, this would be a C major 7th, and that note, I think, isn't really in that last chord. The other part of me was like, oh, maybe it's the 9. You add the 9. But then I was like, no, it's got that like lightness to it. It doesn't really sound that energetic. I think they legitimately just kept all of this and just locked in to that full open chord. And there might have been a little bit of variety in there, but again, like I said, way too much to know for sure. And I'm also not entirely sure that anything I just said is accurate, because there is the potential, given that this is kind of Celtically rooted, that this is in a Mixolydian or a Dorian mode, and that complicates things further, because a D in Dorian is basically just the C major scale. So it's like, what's happening now? And like, that wouldn't relate to any of the minor chords that I was hearing, any of that other dissonance that was in the song. So now I'm like, okay, maybe the whole thing was in D Dorian, because it would kind of open up the paths for anything to happen. Any of those relationships, the minor chords, the sharps, all of that can be opened up by using C major. It is one of the most versatile chords ever, because you have so many avenues to take. Anywhere can be reached from C. You can go anywhere else, but I'm more confident in the whole D minor versus A flat major thing. That relationship feels a little bit more strong to me, but they use Mixolydian and Dorian all the time in Celtic music, so it's very possible that's what they shifted into. So instead of going into the A flat major, they shifted from or to a Dorian, and that's the relationship they got. So there's a lot of variety in this one, and this has so much going on. It is so fun. The orchestra had so much fun recording this. You can tell that everyone playing this song loved it, especially at that one skyrocketing moment at the end. That makes the entire theme. The rest of it, beautiful, but honestly, completely second fiddle to that ending part. That is such a good finale moment. What a brilliant, genius way to write. It's just fucking perfect. This composer, Yuxi Wang, amazing work. Just brilliant, genius, phenomenal work. One of the best songs in Genshin that I've heard. Way up there with you know who, Yu Peng Chen. Way the fuck up there. This is probably one of the top 5 songs that I've heard in this entire game. And from somebody who's basically a leeway slut, that is saying a lot. This area has some beautiful music, but this song specifically, potentially one of my favorites in the entire game that I've heard so far. What an amazing fucking track. I cannot get over the genius in writing this. The brilliance that takes to be like, you know what we need to do? Let's bump it up even further. Just talk about big endings. Let's crash through that shit with the mighty force of the gods themselves. What an amazing finish to an already amazing song. A beautifully written piece with a lot of emotional evolution, but then you end it with cracking open the heavens. That is just an insane approach. This song has my blood pressure skyrocketing just as high as it landed. This is a fantastic song. I need to stop talking. I'm feeling lightheaded. So thank you all so very much for watching. Sorry about all that yapping and all that technical talk in there. I'll try to remember to throw in some edits of information. Hopefully those were in there for those who aren't musically inclined and don't know theory crap like I do. Hopefully you're not lost at this point. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have another song you want me to get to from Genshin, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!